Empire Grotesque asks, so when it comes to naming henchgirls and henchmen, is it always completely up to you? Do they get any say? Also, why did you call one of the twins who work for you Query when you already had a henchgirl who you use a lot called Query? I can understand if it's one of those odd job henches where you can reuse the name, but you used both Queries quite a lot. Was there a reason for that? I'm sure someone will disagree, but I've never had a pair of twins work for me. I have only ever had one Query and one Echo. Query kept asking questions, too many for my liking, hence the name. Echo had the same predilection as her name, often repeating what I would say. In case you thought she was the complement to my Narcissus, you would be mistaken. Echo has never displayed any kind of attraction toward me, thank God, and neither has Query. I'm rather fond of the names myself. They're rather like my own call and response. Harley's Universe asks, or rather says, I love you. Neat. I love me too. Also, I don't care. Anonymous asks, is there a riddle even you can't solve? If it existed, why would I confess to the defeat? Of course, there are lousy riddles that are impossible to solve because the so-called Riddler themselves cannot get their thoughts adequately expressed without drooling all over the page, but I refuse to call that a failure on my part. If someone gave you a puzzle missing several pieces, can it be completed? So no, I've yet to encounter a riddle I would deem unsolvable. Anonymous asks, hello Riddler, how long do you think it'll be till Batman has you back in Arkham? Well, considering I have to re-offend before he can pin something new on me, all I have to do is be good to avoid incarceration again. So who knows? Being good is hard. Someone certainly asks, what's the most difficult riddle you've put your mind to? Well, that depends. Difficult for others or difficult for me? Never too difficult for me, but certain riddles I thought to be elementary have made people simply kill themselves. I mean, if you stood beneath a slowly descending blade and did nothing to stop it, what else could you call it but suicide? Anonymous says, you know, you've piqued my interest. Truly, you have. I wish I'd stayed at Arkham long enough to be able to work with you. Narcissism, egocentrism, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and a superiority complex. Yet you deserve every bit of praise you give yourself. Mr. Nigma, you intrigue me. Consider yourself placed on my to observe list. What an odd statement. Are you supposed to be a doctor or a patient? If doctor, you'll find that spending hours alone with me will make you question your life choices, and if you are a patient, well, since I don't know you already, then you're not worth knowing. Anonymous asks, everyone's talking about your ass, or drawing your ass, everywhere at the moment. How does that make you feel? And, Anonymous asks, people are scattering artistic interpretations of your ass all over the internet. Do you have any feelings regarding this phenomenon? And, Anonymous asks, Mr. Nigma, it seems your backside has become rather popular on this site. Your thoughts on this? Well, since my genius has gone unappreciated thus far and will continue to be neglected for the duration of my existence, then there must be some common denominator over which the mindless drones can unite themselves, instead of the collective blank look of the lobotomized guppy burbling out, huh, whenever I speak. Apparently that common denominator is my uncommon posterior. Look, I take the stairs because I dislike elevators. It's cardio, it's not rocket science. Cosmic Crow asks, my friends always refer to you as a poor man's Joker. Can you give them a real reason for them not to call you that? Because it's getting harder and harder to defend you. And, Anonymous asks, what's it like being a poor man's Joker? How about, instead of defending me, you attack them constantly with your love for me, never stopping for any reason? You know who I like? The Riddler. You know who's great? The Riddler. What do you want for dinner? The Riddler. The Riddler is the best, the greatest, the supreme. Riddler returns. Riddler forever. Soon enough, they'll get so sick of being around you that you won't have any friends and will have no cause to bother me with such a question ever again. What's it like being a poor man's Joker? I've no idea. Ask Lyle Corley, I'm sure he could tell you. Anonymous asks, I'm a little disappointed in you, Mr. Nigma. Do you really feel that way about fetish gear? Fetish gear? Oh, the shiny rubber and vinyl? Well, never been interested in it. I see no point. The only benefit that I can see is saving on dry cleaning bills, as you could simply wipe yourself down. If you've heard otherwise, you have me confused with someone else, though if one of you were interested in such a thing, you wouldn't have to look far to find it. Have you seen the outfits some of these heroes wear? Being good is a fetish in and of itself, but that? And they say I have no shame. Ask Pied Piper asks, your voice is so... I suddenly feel the urge to print out riddles and post them around town. How is it with just your voice alone you can make a girl want to riddle up some conundrums and possibly go into a life of crime? Are those riddles meant to rival me or ensnare me? A quest doomed to fail on either count. I'll break it to you all gently like. Someone has to. That it takes more than a few riddles to attract my attention, but hey, if you're a good girl, you can test this new trap for me. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Of course you would.